Stephen Howson, full-time Devils. Manchester United have just finished 1-0 defeat to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And did it really feel like we ever deserved to win it? Did it really feel like we could win it? Did it ever feel like we was going to win it? I don't think it felt like any of those things at any point whatsoever. I think I expected pretty much all of that performance, to be honest. Without an extra man in midfield, without the ability to throw an extra man into midfield, I don't know where you're going to expect Manchester United to go and do this. I didn't want us to, but I expected us to sit deep. I expected us to invite Chelsea onto us, and I expected us to try and hit them on the counter. For the first 70 minutes of the game, we didn't even try to hit them on the counter. For the first 70 minutes of the game, it didn't feel like we wanted to even try to attack them. Our build-up play was non-existent. Our interchange and our quality on the ball was just completely non-existent. This was a little bit of what we saw against Spurs, but at Spurs we was able to capitalise and get the job done. We wasn't able to do that today. And Chelsea was good value for their win. It wasn't like they snatched a win off us. They was worthy of the win. I thought once we pulled on Fellaini and once we brought on Lingard, and I thought once we brought on Marshall and we switched to a more 4-3-3 sort of shape, that's the sort of shape I want to see Manchester United playing in these big games. When United go 4-3-3 and we have that three-man midfield, I think we can impose our will on other teams. And I know that we've not been playing 4-3-3 simply because of injuries and we haven't really had the personnel, but it's frustrating. I think is the only way I can describe it. We have to deal with the injuries that we've had, and I think the injuries have a lot to play in there. But we didn't start playing until we was 1-0 down. We didn't start playing until we had the three-man midfield. Now, I thought a win here was very unlikely. I think I predicted a draw on the preview. I was expecting and hoping for a draw today, and I would have accepted a draw. Accepted, not happy with. There's a total difference between accepting something and being happy with something. I wouldn't have been happy with a draw, but you take a draw under the circumstances. Now you look at how this period, I would say month, but obviously it spans a little bit into November. You look at this period in between the two international breaks from the Liverpool game to this game, and you see that there's draws in there and there's defeats to Huddersfield and now Chelsea in there, and like one decent result win against Spurs. That's not going to be good enough for United going forward. For December, for the rest of November, United need to start putting some points on the board. We have to beat Newcastle at home in the league. City are racking up wins against top six competitors like Arsenal. United need to do the same. Our season isn't that bad in and of itself. We're doing okay. This was a blow, obviously, and you have slip-ups like you have at Stoke, and you have slip-ups like you have at Huddersfield. But because of the pace that Manchester City are setting, it feels like we're getting far off the pace. It's now 8 points. 8 points isn't insurmountable. But we don't look like we're playing well enough at the moment to just say, yeah, we'll easily get those 8 points back. There's no evidence to support that. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I think we didn't have the personnel and we didn't have the will. And Mourinho's never going to change. So it seems pointless to be saying, I wish just Jose would do X or Y, because that's not in his nature to do that. Maybe if Timothy Fosu-Mensah had been around, maybe he would have pulled him back and he would have played in this sort of circumstance, but would he have played the remainder of the games? I'm not sure. People saying the same thing about Andreas Pereira, doing very well on loan again this season in La Liga. Would he have made much of a difference? Maybe, but I'm not entirely sure. So what do we do? What can we do as United fans? We just have to turn up and support, don't we? What do you guys think went wrong today? Is there anything worth discussing from today, do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to start coming into your questions and see what you guys are saying. People talking about Mkhitaryan. Someone just said Mkhitaryan's shit. Mkhitaryan's not shit, but he's not been very good. He's not been good at all since Paul Pogba's disappearance, has he? He's been probably, as an individual, him and Lukaku have both suffered equally because of the lack of Paul Pogba. Someone saying, drop Lukaku. Do you think so? Do you honestly think so? Mourinho's tactics are always the same. He made it easy for Chelsea. I didn't see the name, sorry. Yeah, do you know what? Let's look at just in the first half, the tactics. So when you play this system and when you play them sort of tactics, what you want to see is you want to see the centre forward and the centre halves being about 25-30 metres away from each other. If that's the case, then the opposition has to play in like a 20-25 metre band across the pitch. You see people doing this at Old Trafford effectively all the time. You're probably going to see Newcastle try and do this at Old Trafford next weekend. They squish the pitch. The pitch becomes tiny, and that's when you see a lack of space, and that's when you see errors being made. Now, United today at Stamford Bridge, Lukaku and Rashford was 40, 50, 60 metres away from where our defensive line was. That means that the midfield line is going to be 20, 25, 30 metres away from the defensive line, and that's a lot of space. We saw with their goal, the way their goal came, nobody picks up Azpilicueta. Not sure whose man that was to be picking up. I mean, who really are you thinking marking the centre-half? Do you expect a forward to come and track him back? I don't really. I think that it's probably someone from midfield, or maybe the fullback needs to pick it up. But that was just one of those that shouldn't have happened and did happen, and that's one of the things that you get with a back three. Occasionally one of the centre-halves is able and willing to step out from the back and cause you some damage, and that is exactly what happened. So Roshan says, can accept defeat but not the performance. Interesting. No Pogba, no party, says Aziz. We need Pogba, and the lion back Lukaku has disappeared. Do you think Lukaku has disappeared, or the fact that Manchester United are not playing anything at all on the front foot? Earlier in the season when we was attacking, the play was built around him. It was built for him to have players around him and to make things happen. When there's nothing like that happening, when there's nobody getting around and making stuff happen in an attacking sense around Lukaku, it looks like he disappears from the game. But if you've got Pogba on fire, if you've got Mkhitaryan on fire, the guy that's putting the ball in the back of the net, Lukaku, he looks like he's on fire in the end of that as well. They get a lot of praise when they're putting the ball in the back of the net, but it's a team effort to get the ball to their feet to be able to do it. McTominay, says Ewan. What do you mean by McTominay? Herrera is useless, says Mohammed. I totally disagree with Herrera being useless, but I think he's got to be played in a three-man midfield with Pogba. It's not all Lukaku's fault, says TPG. We need Pogba and Mickey connection back, says Semi Bros. Mourinho out, says Num. Really? Sort your neck out, mate. Lukaku is a joke. Really? Tactics are wrong. Let's do that one. It's a bit of a long one. See if I can find it. I can't find it, man. They're going a bit fast, these. The tactics are wrong, our mentality is wrong. We started to play our game after the 80th minute. That's just bullshit. I would agree on that, mate. Yeah, I would say the mentality and the tactics was both wrong. Our football is shit, says Yorkshire Reds. Lukaku should have been taken off, says Akram. I think I agree to an extent with Mourinho. I think you've got to support him. He had a couple of decent chances today. He put them on target. You can't really ask for more than that. To be honest, I think that you can't get mad at them when they're putting them on target. If they're blazing them over constantly, that's when I have a problem with it. But he wasn't doing that. Saying we miss Pogba is also scary. Are we a one-man team? No, we're not a one-man team, clearly, but we are a team that's set up to utilise the best of Paul Pogba. And when you haven't got Pogba and you haven't got the guy that's plan B to Pogba, which is Fellaini, and you haven't even got a plan C in Carrick because he's injured, then you have a problem, and I think that's fair enough to say. Mata over Mickey today. I thought the same against Spurs, to be honest. I thought that we was lacklustre with the ball, and I think that if you'd have had Juan Mata, who's not encouraged to run it with the ball all the time, and it's someone who likes to play nice football in and around, then I think that's something that suits Juan Mata a lot more. Mourinho's 7 rules are really interesting. Mourinho's 7 rules for how to win big games, and he doesn't want to have the ball. And he says it's the team that makes the fewest mistakes. When I agree on that 100%. But what I would also add to that is that I think losing the ball too easily is a mistake as well. And I think that's something that United do, and we shouldn't be looking to do. We should be looking to be better than that. Sign Goretzka, good player. Lukaku, oh come on man, no need for that. Mickey not the best this season either. The league is gone, no way back for us, says Josh Peters. You're probably right, to be honest, mate. 8 points at this stage with how we're playing looks like it's too far. But do you know what? No title's ever been won in November. You can't anoint City for the league at the moment, but I will say this, it's going to take a massive, monumental, probably very unlikely wobble for them to cock it up and not win the league now, I think. In January, we need to move forward. Who do we bring? We definitely got to look to a left back. An actual first choice left back. Maybe even someone to play on the right as well. Luke Shaw could do it. I honestly believe he could do it, but he's not looking like he can do it at the moment. We're going down. We're still second, you know. You do understand this. Some of you lot are massively overestimating. I'm upset with the performance. I'm upset with how we're playing. I'm upset with how far City are getting away from us. But we are still second in the table. Let's not forget that. Griezmann, says Mr. Rosé. That's not a bad shout. Griezmann coming in transforms the confidence of this team, transforms the fact that there's another creative player going forward. But I definitely think Ozil's going to be the one that Jose Mourinho signs. I don't really agree with that. But I think that's what's going to happen. Whoever said Mourinho isn't too far off is wrong. Something about the top 6 teams, it went a bit too fast for me. Mourinho needs to have the complete confidence that he's got the best team. And when he's not, he plays it very, very safe and to not lose. And that's an effective tactic. But City are absolutely smashing it at the moment. Matic has been a bit poorly. I think Matic's been alright. Someone saying we're only second on goal difference. We lost a title on goal difference. We're second. That's the fact. Doesn't matter whether it's on goal difference or anything. We're second. That's it. It's all that matters. We need Pogba back ASAP, says Humza Vlogs. Absolutely, brother. Mourinho's outdated. He slates the fans. You're right, and he shouldn't be doing that. I actually think a lot of that was deflecting away from his court case that was going on, to be honest. I want Sanchez, says Ross Murphy. Zlatan is way better than Lukaku. I think you're wrong, mate. Yeah, we're second, but what is the difference between City and United? United still got the second highest number of goals scored and the lowest number of goals conceded. We're not that far off. We are not that far off by a long stretch. We're defensively very sound. Going forward, when Pogba's back in the team, we look excellent. When he's out of the team, we need a plan B. That's the top and bottom of it. We definitely need a plan B. We've lost these games in midfield, says Navin. Absolutely agree on that one. Pogba is coming next week. Well, it's international break this weekend. Let's hope that he returns for the Newcastle game. That would be a great one to kick back it again. Valencia does not cross, says Akil. Do you know what? That's an excellent point, yeah, because when was the last time that you saw Valencia regularly putting in crosses for people to get on the end of? Good point, mate. Will Pogba come back for Newcastle? Yeah, I think so. Who was my man of the match, says Blair. Do you know what? You guys get your man of the match in. I'm going to have a little think. Who was my man of the match? Probably off the top of my head, Big Dave. He had a lot of shots to deal with, and some of them was excellent saves. Yeah, I'm going to say Big Dave, man of the match. You guys reckon, man of the match? Someone saying Guardiola is 10 times the manager that Mourinho is. I only saw one manager winning trophies last season. Just saying. Everyone has a blip. Hopefully this is ours. Correct. Yeah, can we just say that? Everybody has a blip. Let's hope this has been ours. This has been a bad month for Manchester United, and we're still second. Bad month for Manchester United, still second. Should we just leave it on that? I think we should probably leave it on that. Bad month for Manchester United, still second place. Rashford, De Gea, Jose Ian, says somebody. The ref man of the match, De Gea is always solid, says Rhoda. The game for man of the match, Valencia way too offensive. Valencia, Bakayoko. Without Pogba, we lack a creative midfielder. 8 points, and you're saying not far off. I'm saying not far off. We're still second. All right, we're probably not going to win the title this season, but some people are going on in the comments like we're hovering above relegation. We're second. That's what I'm talking about. It could be well worse, couldn't it? But we're second. Yes, it's not great. Yes, it feels shit to lose. Yes, there's been issues. This has been a shit month. But after this shit month, where we've lost twice on the road and we've drawn when we could have won, we are still second. So what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? Badly missing Paul, says Luke. No creativity, says Drop Bomb Gaming. We need Bellerin, says Seth. It's not a bad shout. We need Griezmann, says Captain Fate. Don't enjoy watching us play. There's a lot of people saying that at the moment. I would agree on that, man. I think that yes, I totally agree that not enjoying watching us play at the moment. I think that's evident for everybody to see. We've been playing poor for seasons now. We need creativity. Our football is boring and shite. Bring back Ronaldo. How about relax? Fellaini changed the game. It was Fellaini, but it was also the fact that we had 3 men in midfield, and I think having 3 men in midfield made a massive difference for us. Anyway, I'm going to be getting out of here. Adam's going to be coming from Stamford Bridge very soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow for full-time review. Laters.